So I'm here at this special event where we'll talk to the actors of this film called Blue Mountain. We're going to speak to Ranvir Shorey and a bunch of other actors associated with this film. So let's go inside and find out what's going to happen. So, you've been acting for so many years, you've done television, you've done films. What was about this story which really appealed to you?
I have a fascination for films which have children as the main protagonist or youngsters as a main protagonist. Of course, he's not a child in the film. And I personally, my favorite films in the world are always films which have children or they have youngsters or have a message for youngsters. So when someone narrated the story, I really liked the concept that how a child who doesn't win, how he copes up with the world, which I thought was a little unique because you have a lot of films made on children winning or the journey where eventually they win a race or an exam or a situation in life. But I thought this was a little unique where he tackles the psychology of a child or a boy who loses.
In the press conference, we spoke about the fact that it's based on children participating in competitions and those who don't win. Now, there's been this nationwide debate about nepotism in the movie industries. Some filmmakers are living in denial, and they say that opportunities for star son or star daughters are in a way deserving. What do you have to say about this deep-rooted nepotism in our industry?
See, I'm not going to be stupid and say there is no nepotism. Maybe it is not to the extent as it is publicized. I also believe fundamentally the movie business has been flogged more for various things than actually what the reality is. Casting couch hota hoga, but बढ़ा चढ़ा के उसको पेश करते हैं. Nepotism, of course, hota hoga. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It happens anywhere. So I have a take it, not that it doesn't happen, but then you're a product of your circumstances, of your opportunity, and how you then, tackle that determines your success. So you might get the first break. I could be a director's son or a producer's son, but then eventually success doesn't eventually come to people who are direct. You have history of cinema where even the biggest names, kids, siblings have failed, not done well. So it's all a question of how you handle that. But it gives you a head start, no doubt. You have to be honest about it. I can't say no, nepotism doesn't. It does. To a large extent, it does exist.
Simran, my first question to you is, since this is your first film, how difficult was it for you, the process of auditioning, and how difficult was it?
I had no idea what auditions are. So this was the first audition of my life. I am from Shimla, so auditions don't happen there generally. So in our school library, this audition happened. And I thought, let's bunk my class and go for this audition. So I went there. And I just imagined some ordinary boy, I'm talking to him sideways. I gave all the audition, and the director is like, no, this is not the way you give an audition. Just look straight, look into my eyes and say the audition. And that's what I did, and I got my first standing ovation of my life. So that was the point when I realized that maybe I can act or maybe I can pursue my career in this. So finally when I got selected, then here I am in front of you. Yeah.
Lately there's been a lot of talk about nepotism in the film industry, that sons and daughters of film actors have it easy. Of course, you didn't have to struggle much because this is your first film, but this film is also based on the fact about children who participate in contests and don't win. So any comments on that?
Yes, for people who belong from the industry, it is easy for them to enter, but it's hard to continue that fame their parents have gained. So it's hard for them to continue. And for me, I don't have any background from this industry. But then, as the movie says, participation is more important than winning or losing. So I have participated. This is my first participation. So after release, I'll get to know whether I win or lose.
And finally, something about your character in this film, and why do you think your audience should go and watch this film in theatres?
Okay. My character, it is a very ordinary character. Every person plays this character in someone else's life. So I am a girl, who very innocently believes in her friend's dream. So I support him. Initially, when he goes there, I support him that yes, he will win. I motivate him. But when he doesn't, I motivate him even more to move on, not to get depressed. It's a very motivating character. So that is the role. And people, for people it's a very inspirational movie. Not only for the children but for their parents also, how to treat them. It also shows the relationship between a mother and a son, a father and a son, and a person and his friends. So it is a very connecting movie.
Okay. And any future work that we should look forward to? Have you already signed anything or thinking?
I have signed another movie. Its first schedule will happen in April last week. So I'll be shooting for that.
And what's the name and who are you working with? Can you reveal the details?
Not right now. Yeah.
So joining me now is Yatharth, who's played a pivotal character in the film and the producer of the film. Yatharth will begin. This is of course based on a real life incident. So how difficult was it? Did you get emotional when you were playing it because you've lived through that journey?
Actually, I would like to say that I lived through that journey and I overcame it. So for me, it was more like a retrospect thing. I was looking at it, this is something that I've done, and I've been able to kind of overcome it. So when I got to do this movie, it was mostly about, oh wow, so I've lived through this, and I need to share this story with all my friends who are my age. I need to share with them what actually happens when you pursue a field like this or anything. You have to you're going to face failure. And so you need to be ready for that. And so this is like a backstage story of what actually happens.
तो ये कहा जाता है कि फिल्म्स फेल नहीं होती, बजट्स फेल होती हैं, क्योंकि आप प्रोड्यूसर हैं. तो आपने कैसे इसकी प्लानिंग की और क्या विजन था आपका जब फिल्म स्टार्ट हो रही थी?
मतलब फिल्म की शुरुआत में तो बहुत अच्छी चीज़ें ही होती है. ऐसा लग रहा है कि बस थोड़े से पैसों में फिल्म बन जाएगी, लेकिन जब आप एक्चुअली हकीकत में जाते हो तो पता चलता है कि नहीं, हकीकत कुछ और ही है. और फिर आप पैसा लगाते चले जाते हो. ये मुझे लगता है हर प्रोड्यूसर की एक गाथा है. लेकिन बहुत तकलीफ जब आती है, ऐसा लगता है कि आपको सीखने को बहुत मिलता है. तो मेरा अपना हैंडीक्राफ्ट का बिज़नेस है और मैंने इस नए बिज़नेस को अपने पैशन के लिए ट्राई किया. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आज की डेट में जब मैं इस फिल्म को रिलीज़ कर रहा हूँ तो मैंने एक पूरा बिज़नेस सीख लिया है, और सीखने की कीमत तो देनी पड़ती है. सो आई थिंक आई पेड फॉर दैट, बट इफ़ द फिल्म गोज़ वेल ऑन 7th April, which I think it will, there will be no regret.
In the press conference, you told us that you thought about this unique idea of what about those children who don't win in competitions, and it's a very valid idea. But when you started off, did you feel it's a risky, a little niche area as compared to first time safe subjects where directors sometimes choose?
See, I don't scare of picking up a subject which is risky or something like that, because I believe it's the engaging factor and the content. If your content is somehow connecting your audience, then you are the winner. So in this film, from the beginning till end, you will laugh as well, you will cry, because you are getting involved with the subject, you are getting involved with the story. So if my audience is getting connected, then they will definitely love this film. That is exactly what I thought while making this film.
With me now, I have actor from the film, Mr. Ranvir Shorey. Ranvir, you've always done diverse projects in your past films. So what was that first thing which appealed to you that you decided to do this?
The most appealing thing about Blue Mountains when I heard the story was that it has such a strong emotional core as far as family is concerned, as far as competitiveness in society is concerned, the premium that we have on success, and young people today are pushed very hard by parents and by their peer group to be successful at whatever they want to do. But nobody talks about how to deal with failure, which is a very important part of the journey to success. So these were the things which attracted me most to the film. Also, I think since I became a father, I have been emotionally more attracted to parts that have the parent-child relationship in it.
Okay, all right. My last question, Ranvir, which are the future films should we expect coming from you? You played an interesting character in Ek Tha Tiger. Are we going to see you in Tiger Returns as well?
No, I think they could. I'm not going to be in the sequel to Tiger, unfortunately. I think they couldn't afford Salman and me together. So I have a few films which hopefully should be out this year. There's Blue Mountains, which is out on 7th April. There's A Death in the Ganj, which is a small independent film directed by Konkana, which should be out later this year. There's a very nice film called Kadvi Hawa, which is directed by Neel Madhav Panda, which has Sanjay Mishra and me in it, and a couple of other films.
So like you saw now, the actors are very excited about the film. This is based on the real life story of about a boy who took part in a reality show and did not win. And let's see what the audience will have to say once the film hits the theaters. With Rahul, this is Rituraj, Voice of People.